All right, guys, these are the 5 signs that your gut is not healing. Number 1 being you have a foggy brain, meaning you can't think clearly. You don't know what happened just 1 hour ago. You feel like you have to think about what you're going to say next. When you're having a conversation with someone in front of you, you feel like you can't concentrate on what they're saying. Everything is slow for you to come out of your mouth. You probably have a foggy brain. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 is you feel super tired, meaning when you go out and about, you're doing your job, talking to someone, doing grocery shopping, you feel super tired, like you didn't sleep well last night. And you slept well, you know you did. But yet the next day you feel tired? That's symptom number 2. Number 3 would also be bloating. Okay? And when I mean bloating, if you're not overweight, and you have like a bloated stomach, which is happening in the lower half of your stomach, that means you have gut issues. That means that something is going on in your stomach where the bad colonies are overpowering the good colonies of germs, and that's not good. Now, if you're overweight, that could mean that you just have too much fat in your stomach, or you do have a bloated stomach, okay? But like I said, the bloated stomach happens in the lower part of your stomach, right? Not above right here. That doesn't mean you're bloated. It's usually the lower half of your stomach, okay? Number 4, you have histamine issues. Now, histamine is a chemical compound that is created by your own body and is in a lot of meat. And basically, histamine is in a lot of meat because a lot of germs are breaking down, bacteria is breaking down the meat, especially once it's out of the cooking pan and onto a plate, or even out of a freshly packaged meat package, it starts to accumulate bacteria. And so that's normal as long as it's out of the danger zone, you can consume that meat. But if you have a gut lining where it's broken down and it's very thin, and when you ingest the food and it goes all the way down to your stomach to be ingested and broken down and filtered out, it can't really absorb the nutrients because it's already defending itself against the pathogens. And that in itself is hard enough for your stomach to do, because the lining of the stomach is so thin that the bacteria can easily go into past the not intestinal barrier, but past the stomach barrier and into the bloodstream. And that's how people get sick. Okay, so that's number 4. If you're having histamine issues, which is basically an accumulation of histamine in the body, and your body has to fight against the bacteria so much because of, your gut being so broken down. And usually it causes cold-like symptoms, meaning a sore throat, feeling like you're sneezing a lot, having nasal congestion, having a runny nose, feeling like you have aches and pains in your body. Like, yes, that could turn into an actual cold, but usually it stays right here and you have a sore throat. Usually that's like issues with histamine. Like your body is creating too much histamine in the body and you're ingesting a lot of histamine in the body, which is very counterintuitive because you have to eat a lot of meat on the carnivore. So I would suggest to combat this is to eat fresh meat from the farm if you're able to, because that would reduce a lot of histamine issues. Or you could take a histamine supplement. And I believe I get it from Grasslands from New Zealand. And they have this histamine supplement that combats a lot of the histamine in the body by breaking down the histamine. So this pill has an enzyme, and a DAO enzyme is what it's called, that breaks down the histamine in your body so that you don't have that cold-like symptoms. And I had that symptom of having too much histamine and feeling like I would get a cold here and there. And I took that pill and I feel so much better. I feel like there's no buildup anymore. So if you have those issues, I would suggest doing a histamine pill or eating meat fresh from the farm. So those are the 5 symptoms in your body that show signs of gut issues. Have an amazing day. Bye. And with that being said, you guys, if you are struggling with pain, overall discomfort, you have a bad memory loss, you have a foggy brain, you can't think efficiently, right? When you talk to people, you can't conversate well either. You feel tired all the time, and most of all, you have a bloated stomach. Then you're gonna have to watch my video down below that I created just for you about the 7 mistakes that you are making to not heal your gut. Okay? Have an amazing day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.